So first of all, I just want to say good evening to the Honorable Governor Ige, Representative Vito, the Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame Chairman, Coach Larry Price, the commissioners, the advisory board, selection committee, and distinguished guests. I've spent the last few weeks trying to figure out what I could say to show my appreciation for the people in my life that are responsible for me receiving this honor. And after a whole lot of deliberation, I realized that nothing I can say will ever be able to truly express how grateful I am for all their support and love and all the things that they've done to help me get to where I am. Before I get too much further, I want to congratulate the other inductees on their inductions and their accomplishments. We've got some careers that are second to none, and I've always said that Hawaii is, when you look at per capita in terms of Olympians, when you look at per capita in terms of football players and professional athletes, soccer players, weightlifters, we can go up against any of the bigger states that are out there. So congratulations on your careers. It's all well-deserved. I'd also like to start out by thanking the Hawaii Sports Hall of Fame commissioners and the selection committee members for considering my career worthy enough of being recognized like this. I think it's also important that I take some time to thank the state of Hawaii for their unwavering support of my family and of myself as I was growing up. Like was shared earlier, we always say in Hawaii it takes a village, and that's definitely true in my case. If any of you are familiar with my story, I'm pretty sure at some point or another there's a question that's had to have crossed your minds, and that question is how does a punk little kid from Hawaii go on to become one of the most successful decathletes in history and earn the title of the world's greatest athlete? As I sat back and contemplated and tried to figure out what the secret to my career has been, one thought kept emerging to my mind, the top of my mind. In Matthew 7:24 through verses 24 through 27, it talks about the importance of a solid foundation. I believe that whether you're building a house, a skyscraper, a business, a career, or a life, the most important aspect is having a solid foundation. It's the foundation that everything is built on. It's what will dictate the decisions that shape a life. If the foundation isn't solid, then the entire structure is jeopardized. And when the storms of life hit, everything will come crashing down. I've been so blessed in my life to have people that I've been surrounded with who understood the importance of a solid foundation. Whether it was my grandmother or my late grandfather, Tsumoto and Kei Shimoto, and my grandmother's here tonight. We call them Gigi and Baba. My mom, Michelle, who's here as well. My stepdad, Mike, or my dad, Greg. My wife, Sarah. My aunties and uncles, who a bunch of them are here too, supporting me, and my other family members. Or school coach, or my high school coach, Mr. He, who's also here, and his wife, Mrs. He. Or my college coaches who flew in from LA, Kevin and Reed and Mike Barnett. Or a mentor that also flew in from my alma mater, Azusa Pacific University, Coach Terry Franson. They all understood the importance of a foundation. And they all understood that with a solid foundation, we can withstand just about anything that life has to throw at you. To all the people I just listed, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for your unconditional love and support. Thank you for your advice and counsel. Thank you for your example. Thank you for the countless hours spent on the track and in foreign countries, carrying my bags and chasing me all around. Thank you for your unwavering devotion and belief in me. Thank you for your inspiring me to do just one more rep, sometimes when I just wanted to lay there and give up. Thank you for reminding me that there was more to life than just track and field. Thank you for teaching me about priorities, but most of all, thank you for pouring out so much of yourselves into my life. I feel like I could share for hours about the memories and the influence that you all have had with me and the influence that you've had on me. But in the interest of time, like I said, I don't want Elaine to yell at me. So I'm just gonna share about 3 people tonight. I can recall as a young kid, times with my grandfather, my Gigi. He passed away a few years ago, but he meant so much to me. I can remember learning lessons regarding duty and honor and excellence and hard work and determination and mental toughness and family. I have so many memories of working with him early in the morning hours on weekends and during the summer. So many of the skills that I used throughout my career, in my life, and now in my businesses were learned then with him. I often find myself reminiscing about our time together and the things that I was taught. People always ask me, what is it that you learned, and how did those things help you with the career, in your career? And so I wanted to share a couple stories about my grandfather so you guys understand how I became the person that I am today. My grandfather was very strict. He's a strict Japanese man. And if you guys are Japanese, then you know what I'm talking about. But I can remember daydreaming sometimes. I'd be working with my grandfather, and I can remember I would start daydreaming about the beach or going out and having fun. And my grandfather would be drilling or hammering or doing something, and I can remember suddenly being jolted back into reality by a katonk or like a whack or something on the head for not paying attention. You see, I should have been paying attention. I should have been watching. I should have been learning. I should have been thinking one step ahead of him. I should have had the next nail or tool ready for him, because that meant that I was planning ahead and I was prepared for what it would take to get the job done. I can also remember times, and this one's maybe a little bit of a different story, but I can remember times when I'd be rushing through jobs and you know, I didn't want to do my best work, because sometimes to do my best work it took longer. And I can remember he always told me, he always had this analogy for me. Baba, don't get mad, I'm going to share this real quick. But my grandfather, he always had this funny analogy. He would always say, you know, when you go to the bathroom and you go to take care of business and you wipe yourself, he said, you pay attention to detail. You do it right the first time, because you don't want to have to deal with it later on. Now, listen, I know that's funny. I know it's funny, and some of you might be thinking that my Gigi's tactics were a little less than appropriate or maybe even harsh, but they taught me the work ethic and the attention to detail that allowed me to become the person that I am today. It's what ultimately allowed me to stand at the top of the podium in Beijing after getting a silver medal in Athens, and be able to call myself the best. You know, my grandfather's no longer here, but I pray that he knows how much I loved him and how grateful I am for all that he's taught me. The next person that I'd like to talk about is my mom. Many of you know my mom, Michelle. And anyone that knows her knows of her devotion to my brother Nicholas and I. You've probably seen her, you've at least heard her at one of the track meets that we were running in back in the day. I think it goes without saying that she was, and probably still is, one of our biggest fans. However, what many of you don't know is that life has thrown my mom a curveball or two, just like it has for a lot of us. And without going into too much detail, I've watched my mom navigate through divorce and bad kids, or I guess in my case I should say bad kid, major health setbacks, the death of my grandfather, and so much more. You know, when you're a kid, it's so easy to overlook the significance of events that occur in our lives. Parents usually do a great job of protecting their kids and creating a world that revolves around their children. It's not until you get a little older that you realize the world doesn't stop for anyone or anything. And as I mature, I am constantly amazed at the faithfulness and the strength that my mom has exuded. I think back on times when life had beaten her so badly that she would close her door to her room and cry for what seemed like hours. I'm in such awe of how she persevered through it all and continues to do so today. I've said it before, and I'll say it many, many more times. My family, my wife, Sarah, my kids, Jacob, Kate, and Ellie, we are reaping the harvest brought on by my mom's faithfulness all those years ago. To her, I'm eternally grateful. Mom, I love you. I want you to know that I'm thankful and so grateful for everything that you've sacrificed in order to have for me to have the life that I have today. The third and last person that I'd like to just talk about tonight is my wife, Sarah. She has been my rock. My mom and my grandfather and my coaches and everybody planted the seeds, and I think they started they created the story. They were the beginning of the story. My wife, Sarah, is really the one who, on a daily basis right now, is the one who holds my kite string, that keeps me grounded. Every time, I get a little off track or I start to think a little too highly of myself, she's right there to remind me. But she really is my strength. She really is who I can fall back on to know what the next step is that I should be taking or where I should be going. And she keeps me focused on the things and the person that I'm supposed to be. So I just want to say to Sarah, thank you so much. I love you. I couldn't have done any of this without you. And I'm in awe of what you do for our family and what you've done for me and the support that you gave me in the beginning of my career. And for sacrificing so much for, 14 years while I competed and put things in front of you and my family. So thank you for understanding that. Thank you for giving me that time and that freedom to be able to do those things. Yeah, I love you. Anyways, my time is about up, but before I go, I just want to say thank you again to everyone for this honor, for all the people that have put this event together. This has been an amazing night. It's such an honor to be inducted with the people that were being inducted tonight, but also to be able to say that I'm in the record books along some of the names that we saw as we were walking in tonight. Thank you to my family and friends and supporters that came tonight. This honor is not a testament to me, but rather it's a testament to a God that's bigger than any career or medal. And it's a testament to his faithfulness in the life of a small, unworthy, punk little kid from Hawaii. So thank you.